She had everything: talent, fame, and a rising career. But behind the scenes, Sadie Sink faced battles no one ever saw. What if I told you that at one point, she almost walked away from it all? This is the untold story of her struggles, triumphs, and the moment that changed everything. Sadie Sink had always been a force of nature. From the moment she stepped onto the screen, she captivated audiences with her raw talent, her undeniable presence, and an emotional depth that seemed to come from a place far beyond her years. But what most people didn't know was the struggle, the sacrifices, and the moments of doubt that almost made her walk away from it all. It was never about fame for Sadie. She was just a small-town girl from Texas with a dream that felt too big for reality. Acting wasn't just something she did, it was who she was. But the road to success wasn't a smooth one. She faced rejection after rejection, each no cutting deeper than the last. She was too young, too inexperienced, too different. But she didn't let that stop her. Then came the audition that changed everything. When she first heard about Stranger Things, she knew she had to be a part of it. But the competition was fierce. Thousands of hopefuls, each one vying for the role that would change their lives. When she walked into that audition room, she could feel the weight of every failure she had faced before. But this time was different. This time, she wasn't just reading lines. She was Max Mayfield. And the casting director saw it too. But even after landing the role, the real challenge began. Overnight fame is something few people can prepare for, and for a teenager, it was overwhelming. The sudden pressure, the expectations, the scrutiny, it was enough to break anyone. And for a moment, Sadie wondered if she was ready for this. Was she strong enough? Was she good enough? But every time she doubted herself, she remembered why she started. She wasn't in this for the fame. She was in this for the love of the craft. And then there was that scene, the one that would define her career. Season 4, Running Up That Hill. A scene so powerful, so raw, that it left audiences breathless. But what most people don't know is what was happening behind the scenes. The exhaustion, the sleepless nights, the emotional toll. She poured everything she had into that performance. And when the camera stopped rolling, she wasn't sure if she had given enough. But when the episode aired, the world had their answer. Sadie Sink wasn't just another actress. She was a powerhouse, a storyteller, a force. And yet, despite all the success, she remained grounded. While Hollywood tried to define her, she refused to be put in a box. She wasn't just Max Mayfield. She was Sadie Sink, and she was just getting started. But here's the thing about fame, it comes with a price. And Sadie, like so many young stars before her, found herself at a crossroads. The industry can be ruthless. It builds you up just to tear you down. And there were moments when she questioned if this was the life she wanted. Could she keep up with the pressure? Could she continue to give so much of herself to the world while still holding on to who she was? And then came the moment that changed everything. A project unlike anything she had done before. A film that challenged her, pushed her to new limits. The Whale. Working alongside Fraser, she found herself facing emotions she had never explored on screen before. The role demanded vulnerability, a depth that few actors could reach. And yet, she delivered. Because for Sadie, it was never about playing a character, it was about becoming one. But what's next for her? That's the question on everyone's mind. Hollywood has a way of shaping young stars, molding them into what it wants them to be. But Sadie? She's different. She isn't chasing roles just for the sake of staying relevant. She's looking for something more, something real. And that's what makes her story so powerful. Because in a world that constantly tries to define you, Sadie Sink has done something truly remarkable. She has stayed true to herself. And in doing so, she has become an inspiration, not just to aspiring actors, but to anyone who has ever dared to dream. So, what's next for Sadie Sink? Well, that's the real question, isn't it? Because if history has shown us anything, it's that with her talent, her determination, and her heart, anything is possible. And whatever comes next, one thing is for certain: the world will be watching.